I'm Miss Lana and welcome back to my channel. So if you're not familiar, this is Noble Root Herbs. I am the sole proprietor of noblerootherbs.com as well as the service that I provide. You can find me on the web, on the socials, and yes, I do ship, so just keep that in mind. So I wanted to talk about Rosa, Centifolia, or roses today. My interactions this whole week, and usually in most cases, are based on emotional and of course spiritual and physical, but a lot of emotional stuff has been coming my way with my interactions with folks. And with the time that we're in right now, it totally makes sense. But I did want to share a quick story, and then we're going to go over how Rose can be an ally that's beneficial not only for the physical aspect of you, but also the metaphysical aspect of you. So here's a quick story. One of my clients and now dear friends has been working on balancing the feminine and masculine energies, and what I've been doing to help assist them with their process, because it's not me that's getting the work done, guys, it's y'all. Speaking of y'all, I look like a prospector right now. I'm gonna go pay in some gold. I actually was feeling like the garden tea party today, and I had light coming through, but it was taking me a while to set up, so now I literally was burning daylight at both ends. So I just decided to keep the hat on, and it's fun. Anyways, squirrel. So what I found is adding florals to their tea and to bath mixes for this individual has really shown some progress with them accepting self-love and accepting the energies of love and not so much the exterior of it. You know, when we go out into the world and we have all these different, I can get a whole conversation about that. I'm gonna trim that down. So we have this outlook on what we think love's supposed to be, and we have all the wants and things that we want in something, but sometimes love doesn't work like that specifically, and it takes you off guard for you to learn and grow. When it comes to finding your femininity when you're more masculine, whether your embodiment in a female body, a male body, non-binary, or whatever kind of vessel that you're in, balancing the feminine can sometimes be difficult for some folks because they were in an environment that only praised masculinity. So with those types of folks that are embodied in those types of emotions and vessels, finding different allies and different sources, because divine moves through all things, helps them to be able to identify, relate, and kind of bring it into center, to bring it together. So whether that's a rose quartz is very popular for that. And it's not like you over there, I'm going to use my magic to bring you to me, because one, not a good idea. There's always a price. There's always, for every action, there's an opposite reaction. So doing that kind of intent work or magic or type of focus is a big no-no. Attracting purity, love, self-respect, self-love, attracting love into your life, being open to receive is a very beautiful process and is more in tune with things that are more organically I guess, sought after or received. Does that make sense? So rose quartz is a wonderful type of thing to help you with that, a type of ally to help you with that. Smoky quartz is really great for transmuting energy and just overall balancing. And if you're using crystal energy with your herbs and then your own energy and divine energy, whew, you got something going on. So very good. But getting into the rose, or Rosa centifolia, as it's called in the Latin name, is a beautiful, beautiful ally. And in ancient times, and even modern times, it is a sacred herb. It's a special herb that opens up your heart center. And it does help with everything from emotional healing, heartaches, aches and breaks, you know, pains that do with relationships, your personal relationships, hardcore traumas that people have been through, and just overall self-care. That this ally can really help soothe and bring in healing goodness. And I'll go ahead and show you on the camera here. and you'll just see. Now, you can make a rose tea out of this, a drinking tea, and you'll become more aware of yourself, inner dialogue and language, or even like your language around other people that has been reported. Your communication will be more uplifting and more heart-centered. You'll find that you have no more time for like gossiping or, you know, just things that are kind of not that great. And people around you will be like, man, this person's really got it going on, and they'll just kind of want to, you know, see you on that path. If that makes sense. So rose is a really great ally for making a tea blend or adding it in, or just, again, drinking it on its own. And you can steep that in your tea ball or in your mesh that you have to make your own tea. And then also smoking. You can smoke it too. You can add it to MMJ, and you can also make your own smoking blend. I like to add some of this to like blue lotus and mugwort, and maybe a little bit of calendula or something like that, or chamomile. It's really, really nice blend to have and just to sit with it. Having rose incense burning is known to uplift your spirit and to bring a little bit of abundance and luck. So hey, that's a bonus. And making bath sashes with rose, again, little guys you can get from the craft store, doop, doop, doop. And you can fill these up with some Himalayan pink salt or sea salt, or just on its own. You could have a nice rose bath, maybe throw some oatmeal in there, and really, you know, take it up a notch for self-skincare. Because speaking of skincare, rose is really, really good for hair, skin, and nails, whether that's topically or internally. And a lot of it has to do with its bioflavonoids, vitamin K, A, B, and C, so it does have a lot of antioxidant properties to it physically. And yeah, it's good for the heart too. So it's funny how energetically that rose is so good for your heart, but physically it's been known to help with cardiac type issues and to help with if you have like high cholesterol and things of that nature. So it makes sense. It also has been used in anti-cancer formulas because it is soothing and it is loving, and it just has that really nice, comforting energy to it. It has an astringent type of property to it, which makes it great if you're going to do like a type of spray for your face, like a setting spray, or if you're going to do a tonifying spray. You can get some rose water concentrate, and you can add that with some distilled water, and you can put it in like a little reusable spray bottle, or maybe a spray bottle you already had, and you can do that before or after your makeup, after cleansing, and it will make your skin feel so soft and so pretty and supple and beautiful. Now with bruises, cuts, scrapes, and burns, putting fresh rose petals on that is known to help heal the skin. Rose Absolute Oil is another great one to have to do essential oil blends, especially for people, again, trauma, emotional turmoil, self-love, attracting loving energies into their life, whether that's friendships or family or relationships, interpersonal relationships. And this already has, you usually can find it with a 5% oil with a carrier already in it. And then you can get a little reusable roller, and then you would go ahead and you would apply that to your wrists, your temples, behind your neck, top of your forehead, your ankles, and then the bottoms of your feet. And then if you're trying to attract love into your life, you could put it right here on the breastbone. Just another great way to do that. You can also take the rose and you can make it into a salve with chamomile. It is beautiful, smells amazing, and is very, very soothing to the skin. You can make a rose tincture if you like, or a hydrosol. There's so many things that you can do with rose, or just fresh rose petals, and make yourself a really beautiful bath and just bathe in fresh rose petals. Just be careful where you buy them, because pesticides, just had to add that disclaimer not to ruin it. Now, energetically, rose has been known to increase the psychic powers, protection, brings about luck energy, healing energy, again, emotional healing, Rose can also be used during, this was an interesting one that Scott Cunningham had talked about, is love divination. So women back in like, I want to say like Victorian era, would take like they had suitors, because back then women had to be courted. It wasn't like swipe right or swipe left. It was more like she had many people going for her, and that's a whole other thing in history if you want to look that up. And anyways, a woman or a man would take the green leaves of a rose and they would write the names of the suitors, again, female or male, and they would leave them out somewhere in their room or in the kitchen, and whichever one stayed the greenest the longest, they would take that as the suitor to be with. That was a sign. Also rose petals. There's different intents and different magic you can do with rose petals, involving candle magic, surrounding your candles with the rose petals to bring in love energy, or writing on the rose petals what you're hoping to find in the person that you meet next. Like kind of like your wish list, but also, you know, maybe you want them to have a good heart, and you want them to be funny, and you want them to be loyal, or whatever. And you could write those on the rose petals and blow them into the wind, or you can leave them maybe around, again, a candle, or if you do altar work, or in a sash underneath your pillow. There's so many different things you can do with rose. But I have noticed a correlation with all the emotional mixes that I make, whether they are in a tea, in a soak, or in an oil blend, that it has been very, very helpful for my clientele. So these are just some ideas for you to, I always encourage everyone to get out there and make their own stuff, because you're putting your energy into it, and you're also connecting with the divine energy that's going into your stuffs. And if you're a person that's too busy, or maybe you're not really sure, I'm always there to help coach you along, or I can make it for you. It's not a problem. Don't ever feel like just because somebody makes something for you that it's going to be any less effective, because at the end of the day, it's what you put into it too. You know, you're appreciating yourself as you're putting on the oil. You're taking time out of your day to drink a tea, and taking that moment and being mindful and just relaxing and really taking in what you're trying to put forth into the universe and take into your heart. So always remember that. So with this babbling, as always, with anything in life, whether it's the physical, the mental, the emotional, or the spiritual, just remember, guys, wellness always starts at the root. So I'll see you next time. You have a great day. You take care.